Bro. Bronny James' future just leaked. Wait, did LeBron really go to the Cavs? Nah. Wait, I haven't seen
The
it.
issue, I think, when LeBron James, when you look at that team with the Warriors, is that team good enough? And they are, to my knowledge, behind other teams such as a Miami, a Cleveland, a Philadelphia.
I have an almost 22-year-old son who is not my former teammate, which is hilarious.
Former teammate.
2 weeks ago, I stood right here and told you that
Everybody made
protecting
teammates with
Bronny
LeBron,
James
bro.
anymore.
Holy.
His dad walked out the door. The media was telling this kid to retire, and I gave you 3 paths that his career could take. Since then, the entire situation flipped upside down, because as of this week, the 21-year-old kid that everybody felt sorry for officially has an answer about his future. And the greatest player of his generation, or quite possibly of all time, depending on who you ask, the man who's controlled every room he's walked into for 23 years, is the one who's currently wandering the NBA with no idea where he's going. So what changed? Well, 3 things have happened since then. A report dropped that killed the reunion story that everybody, including me, assumed was coming. Bronny got a promotion that was so low-key that the entire news cycle missed it. And buried inside the good news, there's one reason that you shouldn't fully buy any of this yet.
Bronny's not like the best player. I mean, he's okay, but like, it's not like he's the best player. So even if he got a promotion to maybe be like starting fucking point guard or something.
Because a lot of you guys might not know this, but 3 years ago, LeBron James said something in an interview that predicted exactly how this story finishes. So we have a lot to cover here, man. Before we get to the content, we're still running a massive GTA 6 additional that on June 20th. So let me give you a speedy update in the event that you missed our previous video. On June 29th, the Lakers fully guaranteed Bronny's $2.3 million contract. One day later,
$2.3 million? Yo, that's like the lowest fucking, like, the lowest contract you could do possible. There's no way. $2.6 million.
Guys, that he's leaving after 8 years.
Bro, he's making nothing, bro.
For the kid.
Compared to what his dad is making, bro, he's making nothing.
Holy shit. Or he could get traded to wherever his dad signs, or he could become a salary filler in somebody else's deal. The full story expanding on each of those possibilities will be in the end screen of this video if you guys want to check it out, or you can just check out the video that's on your screen right now. But since then, there's been a lot of moving parts, and here's what's changed. First, understand what the internet decided the ending was going to be. Within an hour of the Shams bombshell, the top reaction of Reddit was who gets custody of Bronny. Everybody assumed that LeBron James waited until his son's money was locked in and then decided to tell the Lakers that he was going to leave. It's funny, it's a little bit dark, and it's not
probably the best thing to do as a father in that role, I guess, you know, because he has to leave anyways, because he's not gonna stay there. I mean, even if he did, I don't know if Lakers gonna keep him there long. I ain't gonna lie, but still.
The craziest thing that LeBron James has ever done. LeBron is known throughout NBA history for his power moves, so everybody assumed that the next step was the Lakers were gonna ship Bronny to his dad's new team. But on July 14th, The Athletic said,
Hold your horses, guys.
Dan Wojcicki is a Lakers beat writer for The Athletic. He reported that the assumptions that LeBron and Bronny stay linked going forward are false, according to league sources who were granted anonymity to discuss front office strategy, and the details around it paint a picture that nobody expected. Bronny is well liked in the Lakers locker room. He's respected for how he works, and he's viewed as a guy who's improved a ton in 2 years. And to be honest,
he definitely has improved a ton.
I don't see Bronny as the same
kid
as he was when he originally joined the Los Angeles Lakers. He's improved tremendously, so much so that he gave the Lakers valuable playoff minutes. Do you remember what JJ Redick said before the Lakers entered the playoffs?
I think Bronny's improved a lot. I think we trust him.
So The Athletic.
What's wrong with that girl in the back, bro? Why the fuck was she doing that, bro? I see her.
Improved a lot. I think we.
Are you sure about that? Like, why is she making them faces, bro?
Reporting says his future could be in Los Angeles, no matter where his
Bronny,
father lands. But let me be precise here, because this is where channels could get sloppy. This is just one outlet.
Yo, send him to Minnesota.
Shams hasn't matched it so far. Dave McMenamin hasn't matched it so far. So I'm not going to tell you that the Lakers announced anything, because so far they didn't. What I'm telling you is the best source reporter for the Los Angeles Lakers at The Athletic put his name on a story that says that the reunion that everybody assumed is not definitive. That's how I'm gonna say it, and that's exactly how you should take it. But here's the part that got completely buried. And honestly, it might be the most important development in this entire video. Pay attention to Bronny's last 3 summers with me. In summer of 2024, he played in the full summer league, and believe me, this was a circus. You had people picking apart this kid's game, and every single turnover and mistake.
Was he good
at the time? I will admit it was kind of hilarious, primarily because people sold out buildings. You had courtside celebrities. Every touch was on national TV.
Not dead ass. He had like
replayed by
the most hype.
This was also when Jaylen Brown infamously said those things about Bronny
for a $2.3 million contract
by a hot mic, but fans were able to make out his words quite clearly that Bronny James didn't seem like a professional basketball player. Now in summer of 2025, he's still on the roster, but the Lakers pulled him before the final game. They'd seen what they needed to see, and that was it. Summer of 2026, Bronny's not on the roster at all, and this confused a lot of Laker fans because they didn't know if this meant he had job security or if they were planning on moving on from him. Well, we got our answer this week. Bronny sat in the stands at the Lakers Vegas Summer League win on Saturday as a spectator, and he's participating in the veteran mini camp that started on Monday. Think about what a voluntary veteran camp in the middle of July actually is. That's not a tryout. That's the coaching staff getting its actual rotation guys in a gym to start installing next season. The invite list to that camp is a whisper about the depth chart. Guys fighting for a roster spot play in the summer league, but if you're a guy that the team is planning on actually featuring in their rotation, you'll skip the summer league and go straight to minicamp. In 2 years, Bronny went from headlining the summer league to watching it from the seats with the veterans. And the Lakers didn't make a big deal out of this. They just quietly stopped treating him like a project. Now, at the same time, you have to pay attention to another angle of this entire summer. The Lakers quietly found another person that could potentially take Bronny's minutes, and his name is Cameron Carr. The Lakers took him 24th overall last month out of Baylor, a first-round pick spent on a guard by a team whose backup guard minutes are exactly what Bronny's fighting for. Scouts love his shooting. A jumper with the release point so high, it's basically impossible to bother, on top of real bounce in the open floor and a tremendous wingspan. And during the summer league, Cameron
24th too. Wait, he got picked 24th.
19
might be for me. Kobe region. No,
points and 5 threes in his debut. He was the only bright spot in a blowout. Then 26 and 8 boards in a double overtime win over Miami's team.
Damn,
and then last night, hours after the Dan Wojcicki report that told everybody that Bronny's safe, Carr hung 23 on the Clippers with 3 triples, including 8 straight points to put the game away. Afterwards, he said, "We're here to win it. We're not here to play around." His summer league coach Ty Abbott told the
starter numbers, my boy.
It just reads the game. When he makes a mistake, he catches it early. He's not alone either. Otto Thero was last year's 36th overall pick. He put up absurd efficiency in the G League and is hunting the same wing guard minutes. Jaden Hardy was recently acquired by the Los Angeles Lakers in return for DeAndre Ayton. He's in that guard room as well. If you stack all of the Lakers guards, they currently have Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, Colin Sexton, Quentin Grimes, Jaden Hardy, a first-round rookie cooking in Vegas, Otto Thero, and Bronny James. That's the room that Bronny needs to survive. So let's just check the facts.
This Lakers team is like just so pathetic. I ain't gonna lie, compared to all the other ones. Holy shit. They literally only got Luka on AR. That's literally, honestly, and the new signing that they got.
Actually, the organization got quieter and warmer about Bronny than it's ever been. The same month it made his path to minutes harder than it's ever been. So the man got a promotion and more competition at the exact same time, which brings me to the uncomfortable question here. I want you to pay attention to the wording of that athletic report. League sources granted anonymity to discuss front office strategies. Whenever you see that phrase, you have to ask yourself one question: who benefits from this being public? Because there are 2 clean answers here, and they're both going in opposite directions. The first way you can read this is just the truth. The Lakers value the kid. Teammates like him. The improvement is real. They're keeping him. Praise costs the front office nothing when it's truly genuine.
Why is LeBron marking him like that? God damn.
Skeptical about. If you're a front office that might trade a player in 3 weeks, what do you want the whole league reading about him today? That he's well liked, that he's a respected worker, that he's improved tremendously Honestly, does that sound familiar? This is not a news story. This is pretty much a listing photo. One outlet said that the Lakers would obviously push this messaging to pump Bronny's value in a potential trade with LeBron's next team. And think about where the Los Angeles Lakers currently stand. They gutted out all of their assets in order to trade for Walker Kessler. This is a team that needs to extract maximum value for any player that they would trade, even though Bronny would probably be traded for a few second-round picks. My personal opinion is
maybe, I mean, you never know. They might give him a little. Nah, they're not gonna give him a first round. I ain't gonna lie.
This is the first one.
Maybe.
And here's why. It matches the money. Everything from part one still holds. He's the cheapest useful contract that they own. He might lead the roster in jersey sales, and they just padlocked their draft picks for 7 years. Teams don't dump assets like that for a courtesy. But pay attention to what the Lakers have done, not what the sources said in July.
He's topping over
but transactions
Luka?
tell
There's
a
no way.
completely different story. First, let's talk about his dad. It's been over 2 weeks since LeBron James announced that he was leaving on June 30th. And as I'm recording this, LeBron James does not have a team, which I know some of you guys might be kicking my ass in the comment section, because in my previous LeBron James update, I told you guys that I was expecting that to be my final LeBron James update, primarily because he was going to appear at Fanatics Fest with Tyrese Halliburton. But when Tyrese Halliburton asked LeBron about what his future was going to look like, this is what LeBron had to say. Not only that,
LeBron is good at marketing, man. Come on, man.
James is speaking about his son.
I have an almost 22-year-old son who is not my former teammate, which is hilarious.
LeBron's free agency is officially longer than 2010, officially longer than 2014, and longer than 2018. And Sean's
why is he screaming at Luke Cornell like that,
the current state of it.
The issue, I think, when LeBron James, when you look at that team with the Warriors, is that team good enough? And they are, to my knowledge, behind other teams such as a Miami, a Cleveland, a Philadelphia.
My apologies for the mini LeBron update. I just have a lot of topics to get to, you guys. I didn't want to consistently bombard you with LeBron updates, so I figured this was a slick way to get you guys an update as of today. But the handicapping around this is fascinating. Mark Stein reported that a return to Cleveland is the scenario to beat. Anthony Slater reported that the Warriors
minutes of was, I told you on the list.
Decision makers have been privately pessimistic from the start of free agency. They're chasing him, but they assumed Cleveland wins this entire time. It's just crazy because LeBron James is currently on a podcast tour while the entire NBA is holding its breath. I mean, hell, Pat Riley even brought it up whenever he was introducing Giannis.
We landed the plane. Now there's another one we have to land.
And if you guys want, we can make a separate video on the Miami Heat's plan now that they brought in Giannis. But it's kind of crazy how LeBron James is causing this circus, and meanwhile his son quietly grabbed a gym bag and reported to Lakers camp. One of these two looks like he knows exactly where he'll be in October, and it's not the man with 4 championships. Now, while everybody argues about where he's going, let me show you something about where he's been. Because LeBron James has left a team 3 times in his career, and history is brutal about what happens next. LeBron leaves Cleveland in 2010. The Cavs go 19-63 with a 26-game losing streak that's still one of the worst in the history of American sports. My personal theory is LeBron...
They didn't, Charlotte Hornet just had a season like that, like shitty ass season. Not last season, obviously. But like they had a season recently.
James did this on purpose, allowed the Cavaliers to tank, draft a super team around Kyrie Irving, Dion Waiters, Anthony Bennett, and Andrew Wiggins, and then return to form a big 3 that could eventually win a championship in Cleveland. But he left Miami in 2014, and the Heat missed the playoffs entirely after 4 straight finals. He leaves Cleveland again in 2018, and I promise I'm not making this up, the Cavs go 19-63 again. The exact same record twice. Now here's why that matters for Bronny. Every previous team that LeBron left collapsed, and collapsing teams get desperate.
So that means Lakers about to win 2 games this season. Holy shit.
To every asset, every jersey seller, every warm body. If this were the old pattern, Bronny's spot would be the safest thing in the building. But the Lakers broke that pattern. They're the first team LeBron has ever walked away from that already had a top 5 player waiting. Luka Doncic is 27 years old, and he's signed for the long haul. Desperate teams hoard, contenders choose. So for the first time in LeBron's career, the team he left gets to make a cold, unforced decision about his son. son. That's never existed before. There's no precedent for what happens to Bronny, except the words of the man who left, and that's the part that I've been saving here. Back in 2023, before Bronny had even played a single college game, LeBron did an interview with ESPN about his dream of sharing an NBA floor with his son. Everybody
we all knew that was
the
gonna
Ken
happen.
Griffey part.
Obviously.
Almost nobody remembers the full
Everybody
quote.
knew
Here
that was
it
gonna
is,
happen.
word for word. I need to be on the floor with my boy. I gotta be on the floor with Bronny, either in the same uniform or a matchup against him. Read that second sentence again. Either or, same uniform or a matchup against him. He said both versions of this were the dream. The same uniform part came true in October of 2024 and gave us 2 years of history. And the half that nobody's talked about since, that's the one that's loading right now. Because if Wojcicki's report holds and LeBron signs...
Dude, you can't make that up, bro. Just because he said that, he was talking about just playing with Bronny in general in the league because he wanted Bronny to get into the fucking league because he wasn't about to get into the league at all. Then LeBron started doing some PR training and then boom, somehow he got into the Lakers. Like, what are you talking about, Fight Mike?
Anywhere on Earth, the first father versus son game in NBA history goes on the schedule this season. They're the only father and son to ever play in this league at the same time. So the first time their teams meet, that's a first in the sport, period. Even the Griffeys never got that half. Senior and junior shared a uniform in Seattle, but they never once stood on opposite sides. And in that same interview cycle, LeBron said something else that people forgot. He walked his own dream back. Just because that's my aspiration or goal doesn't mean it's his. And whatever Bronny chooses, the family supports it. 3 years ago, he pre-blessed the kid's own path before the kid ever had one. Now put that next to what JJ Redick revealed in the spring, that from day one, LeBron demanded his son to be coached as Bronny, not as LeBron's son. And then you see a picture that
not as LeBron's son
have never acknowledged. The separation was never abandonment. This was by design. Which brings me to March 25th of this year. Indiana, the Lakers desperately needed a win. Guys were banged up, and Bronny checked in for real, meaningful minutes next to his father. This wasn't a gimmick. It was actual rotation basketball in a 7-point victory. Afterward, LeBron told The Athletic those were minutes that he couldn't dream of better. He talked about the progression, and then he said this: "I'm super proud of him, and he belongs." And it's truly a remarkable story. This is a kid who went into cardiac arrest while he was at USC in the summer of 2023.
Oh yeah, I forgot that happened.
Life saved on a practice court. 3 years later, his father is watching him play rotation minutes in the NBA. He belongs was the last major thing LeBron said on the record about his son as his teammate. And about 90 days later, he left. Those two facts feel like a contradiction until you flip them. He said the kid belongs, and then he removed the one thing that made anybody doubt it. And Bronny has said nothing in the meantime. 2 weeks of retirement takes, trade theories, custody jokes, not one
thank you,
word from
Olivia Rodrigo 401 for the follow.
But if you want to know what he's thinking, he already told us back in March. When a reporter asked him what it's like sharing the floor with his father, he said,
"I've never really had a thought of, me going to play with my dad, but that's always, there
bro, you knew that shit was happening. Your whole career.
It wasn't a...
Your dad is LeBron, bro. Your dad is LeBron.
Answer the question before anybody asked it. His dad's departure didn't put him on his own path. He was already walking it. So where do I think Bronny ends up? Well, this is where I land. And it's pretty much what I said in part 1, but I'm going even further this time. Bronny James is going to be a Laker on opening night.
That's
the report says it, the minicamp says it, the money has said it all along. And unless LeBron's new team massively overpays, there's no version where LA gives that up for a second rounder. But it's bigger than that now. The first father versus son game in NBA history might be worth more to this league than any trade package. And deep down, I think LeBron wants that game too. He's the one who told us 3 years ago, either in the same uniform or a matchup against him. He already got the first one, and I think he goes and gets the second. But let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. If you're a Laker fan, do you even want Bronny James to return? Because we have so many guards on this roster. I'd like to hear what you have to say.
Bronny James
aside from that,
he alright, but
Mike,
he looking shifty recently, so
until next up.
You never know. Yeah, so that was that one, man. Bronny James, his future is leaked by Flight Mike. So that was that. All right, next fucking video, my friend.